It's 5:58 a.m. my time. I mean, technically we're gonna go live at 6, but I mean I'm already up, so let's do it now.
Can I tell you guys something completely mental?
Sure.
Trillium is $4 on Binance.
I almost have like 100,000 of them on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got $400,000.
Yeah, no big deal. Let's say whatever. Yeah, I think I got 40,000 staked on Cavian or something like that. And our project manager was like, it's on Binance because they only got a little bit over there.
Yeah, I'm staking 100,000. I just asked if I could buy 900,000 from Michael like a week ago, and he was like, no. And I was like, all right. I can't really buy 900,000 from the market.
Probably not anymore. Yeah, we can't. And Alcor shut it down until
there's no liquidity. That's why it's pumped so hard, because there's no liquidity.
Yeah, there's barely any around.
Okay.
Anyway, so that happened.
I'm excited for coins that have utility. I've been trying to preach it for years. Utility, look for it. Appreciate it. Know what it is.
Legit. It is good.
Well, that's 10 o'clock. No, it's not. It's 10 o'clock.
What are we doing right now?
5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Do you know where you are, dude?
Yeah, I'm awake, and that's probably not something.
Are you sure you're awake?
Right, like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, fair enough. So welcome everyone to the first episode of the Cryptowriter Round Table, where Corey and I will be joined by awesome guests to talk about questions that Cryptofinney asks. If you don't know who Cryptofinney is the NFT character, kind of forerunning or behind what the Cryptowriter guys are doing in the space. I guess he's a mascot or a I don't really even know what the word is for it. But it's pretty cool.
He's a visitor from far, far away. That's
exactly. Actually, it's a really good point. So it's funny, Stache, because every time I talk about Cryptofinney, I remember like the origin story. And the origin story is he you're right, like he's not from Earth. He came to Earth. He's gold. And in the first episode, Peter Schiff takes a liking to him. My mind just always goes to the fact that like there needs to be somewhere in that comic where Peter Schiff tries to cop a feel and like a Cryptofinney bitch slaps him. Like that's like
it has to be like one of those accidental cop a feels though, like the Homer Simpson grabbing the gummy bear off the girl's ass. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but it was around the was it LeBron James scandal or something? One of those basketball stars had a problem where they bought their wife like a really expensive ring, and the Simpsons parodied it with like Homer touching a girl inappropriately, but he just wanted the gummy bear that she sat on.
Yeah, right. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited, Corey and I. Corey more so than me because he gets to do this at a normal hour, and I get to do this super early, which is awesome because it means I have no filter. So we're gonna see how this goes. But we've got two Finnies actually in the house, which is weird because I'm really not sure how this works out. But one of the things about Finny is that Finny has his Finny has kind of an own like celebrity NFT line, and Kenn, Bosak, and Stache both have their own Finny, which is pretty cool. So we brought them on to essentially hash out what is an NFT and why are they important. Because, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with NFTs. And let's start there. But I think probably first, Corey, we want to do some gratitudes.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a couple minutes. I've been I found out that I've got 10,000 Alien Worlds NFT staked because I'm a bit of an Our Planet degenerate.
Yeah, you are.
And so I'm busily unstaking because apparently like standard drills have 10x'd in value because like everybody and their cat wants to mine Trillium now. So as a public service to the ecosystem as a whole, I will be spending the evening unstaking all of those and putting them on sale for a massive profit.
Even the shovels, man.
Well, yeah, because I haven't tried selling any shovels, but I have way too many of those. Yeah, it's crazy pants. Anyway, so I got to reload Minecraft. All that to say, I am in no way, shape, or form prepared for gratitudes, but I will get prepared right fucking now.
Ah, it's all right. I mean, yeah, we got lots to hash out. So, I guess for anyone who's out there who doesn't know, we should give quick introductions. So, this is on our channel. From next week, it will be on the Cryptowriter channel, because somebody didn't know that YouTube puts a 24-hour wait on live streams. That might be this guy right here, apparently. But you've been in crypto too long when you think that things just happen like the next minute.
And they should, damn it.
Yeah. So actually, first time guest on this channel, and with us. So we're super excited about this. Kenn's a regular around these parts, and we love him for it. But Crypto Stache, if you wouldn't mind giving a brief introduction, and then maybe Kenn, you can follow up with one of your own.
Okay.
Word, yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys. Definitely excited to be hanging out with you guys and with my fellow Finny creators and Finny fam here that's hanging out. So I go by Stache in the crypto world, Crypto Stache, and I've been an investor in crypto since 2013, but really started getting involved in the community in late 2016, early 2017. And I really kind of built my brand off of, helping beginners get into the space, understand some of the basics from more of a technical side, but very simply, right? There's a lot of people who, they want to get in it. They understand that there's something there, but they're not technical type of people. So I kind of built my brand off of that and helping people. I've done in-person classes in my city for years, held meetups, and, done, courses that I've put it for free on my website. And my website's kind of like the catch-all for everything. So everything, if you want to know about what's going on with in the Crypto Stache world, you can find it all on cryptostache.com. And I've been doing the YouTube thing for a little while now, and I have a great Telegram group, but really have been focusing on NFTs and blockchain gaming over the last 3 to 4 years. I was the first crypto content creator, like YouTuber, to have their own NFT. Which is a pretty little, it's a little part of it. I would say a big part of history. This is a small part of NFT history. And I've been working with some great teams like Engine and Wax, stuff like that over the past few years. Really just trying to, help with adoption in NFTs in general. So it's great to finally see people taking note and mainstream people jumping on board, because, I couldn't give these damn things away at meetups and conferences. Years ago, I was at conferences talking about NFTs and blockchain gaming and the power of all these things. Nobody cared. I'm like, hey, I'll give away some free stuff. And I get like 3 people. Like, yeah, I'll take one. Like 3 people.
And it's just
a room of like 5,000 people or something, or a couple thousand people. It's like, yeah, no one cared. But now, when I go to the conferences this year and I say I'm gonna give away free NFTs, I'm gonna be doing it for like an hour because there'll be a huge ass line around the fucking block. So I'm excited. I'm excited that we're there, that people are starting to take recognition. And really see the power and potential of what's going on there. And all of my years of shilling has finally kind of paid off a little bit, even though like all these celebrities now coming in and like, those are the experts. Like no one knows who I am really. I have a pretty small channel on YouTube, and I don't have like tons and tons of followers on Twitter or anything. But it's still good to feel vindicated knowing that, this is something I believed in. I put all of my time and effort and, a lot of my money too, and invested in it. So great to see where it's all taken us.
Yeah, I think Corey had like a very similar story, except like with his like Shipple idea, except he didn't put all his time and effort and money into it, but it still kind of took off. Like it was like,
Yeah, well, it didn't. I guess it kind of did. It was like a couple thousand hodlers. It's not really a big deal, but yeah, we're in the process of looking into the IBC thing to move it all over to Wax. Love you, EOS mainnet, but not that much. And now, like, Shipple memes is going to take off like crazy. So anyway, Stache, while we're on you, what is one thing that you are grateful for in this moment?
One thing that I am grateful for in this moment, I got to say, honestly, the community members, all the people in my community and people who have kind of supported me over the last, couple of years, last few years. I think that's what I'm really the most grateful for. That's why I'm here, to be perfectly honest. Like, I stayed in the crypto community and in the Twitter community and things like that, in crypto in general, because I found that there were so many like-minded people out there. I've been in a bunch of I've been in circles in a bunch of different industries. I'm a musician. I've been a musician my entire life, and so I've been on both the playing side and the like event and music production side. and also in the art world too. So I've also been doing art and involved in that world for many years, but I never felt the same connections and being on the same page as much as I have with people in crypto. I every time I would talk to somebody, it's like we've known each other almost for years. It's kind of weird. So that's one of the things I really love about the crypto community, and I think that's what I'm really most thankful for.
You're right. It is a cult.
It's a little culty. I mean, I'm not,
kind
for sure,
of cult,
but not in a bad way. Like you drink a little Kool-Aid, but then like what's the worst outcome? Like I don't know. I mean,
not all cults are bad.
I was gonna say, you drink the Kool-Aid and it starts spitting money at you. Like that's
right,
right?
Exactly.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
Kool-Aid man comes to the door, he's like, "Oh yeah," and just coins fly out of his stomach and shit.
Exactly. Why is it raining money?
Yeah. I mean, there was a great meme that came out of our community, and it's somebody sitting there with the uplift coffee cup and an uplift hat and an uplift shirt, drinking a cup of coffee, and like across the bottom it says, "I'm not in a cult." And the worst part about it is like
it was Chris from Blockchain Cards. I got that NFT.
Yeah, and every time I jump on here to do these gratitudes, it's like if anyone who doesn't understand blockchain or NFTs is like looking at this, like they totally think like I'm the half leader.
Oh yeah, uplift is going to be tax exempt by the end of the year.
Yeah, so Ken, you got a gratitude.
We do have a church right at the middle. Like it's a good idea. Literally sitting right there.
Dude, do you know how many random churches there are in America for like the Church of Cannabis, the Church of like whatever? It just it happens.
I'm an ordained minister.
Nailed it.
He is indeed.
I have been since I was like 18. It was like one of the funny things to do on the internet when I was younger, and like me and all my friends, we became ordained ministers. I forget what my official title was, but I believe I was a deacon, like deacon.
You guys missed a really good opportunity to start a hip hop band called the Ordained Ministers.
Yeah, I know, right?
The Ministers of Rap.
The Ministers of Rap. Yes.
Gimmicks only go so far. You actually have to have some flow. You know what I'm saying? You
but with a name like that, all you need is the gimmick.
Yeah, exactly. Gimmick.
These days, really, you're right.
Right. It's all about the hashtag, the clickbait. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is hilarious, man.
All right. So, Ken, you got a gratitude and a little bit of a backdrop for anyone who doesn't know you. For us?
Yeah, I'm Ken. I'm all in on crypto, have been since about 2016. So it's like all I really use, very cash poor, recently very art rich, probably, broke about $1 million in NFT assets, which is insane because I don't even own one whole Bitcoin. So that's a thing. I'm big on community, the whole bro vibe, just, doing my thing. Don't really work much, but I feel like I volunteer my time to the community and try to like give back for the opportunity that has been provided to me. Got in pretty early, so I just got lucky. Not really much of an expert.
So what are you grateful for right now?
Actually, since Stache is here, I'll say this: I am grateful to be working with Stache with our weekly show that we do. He has been somebody I've looked up to in the NFT space. Mustache loved you too, bro. Like seriously though, like, and I know you know this, and I feel repetitive always saying it when you're around, but I say it when you're not. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, Ken's the NFT expert, like he's the best," and I'm like, but it's Stache. I'm just like way louder, maybe. But, Stache is like the person I would say go to, if you want it like the NFT expert in the room. I'm just like the NFT fanboy when it comes to the amount of knowledge that he has acquired on a professional level. So I'm just grateful to be working with Crypto Stache on a weekly show.
Awesome, man.
So nice of you, man. I appreciate you too, bro.
Yeah.
So much. And
love.
We, like I said, it's funny too, because we've been friends for actually a long time. We've known each other for years already. And it's cool to see, like I said, I go back to the whole community thing. Like the friends that I've made in this industry are worth more to me than all of the money I've made in crypto. And, that's like legit to me, man. You're stupid. Like, I mean, but that's it, man. People don't understand how rich of a person you can feel when you feel like you really have good friends and good people surrounding you. It's not the easiest thing to acquire.
That's true.
Yeah, I think we
that
just
fully.
have to end the show now. On
Yeah,
that.
it's like maybe throw a gratitude in and it's just done. Join crypto for friends. Also, you might get rich and get some really cool NFTs, but mostly friendship. God damn it.
Well, there's a lot of money
It's
in the
real,
friend zone here.
Apparently.
Yeah. Everyone's supporting each other, doing cool things. You know, with the NFT thing, it makes it really approachable for a lot of people. You know, people who want to create, and like the, you know, me being a creative person, me being an artist too over my lifetime, you know, when you go through these spurts of like creativity, right, where you're like inspired by something and something's like, oh man, this is I got to do it, and like you feel that energy and you want to do the creative process and be in it. And then there's other times in life where you're just like, fuck, I don't want to do anything. I hate this. Like I can't. Nothing's coming through. But I think that NFTs have really excited a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And, you know, not just making them, but collecting things too. We've seen that, you know, with the big resurgence with NBA Top Shot. You know, there's people who are like, man, I used to collect, you know, basketball cards when I was a kid and I loved it. And, you know, I haven't collected anything in years. But this is cool and new and I love it. Yep. And so we're seeing that across the board in a lot of different ways. So I think it just opened up a lot of stuff, the whole NFT scene.
Yeah. I was just talking to the Tuttle, our project manager for the Uplift. She's like, yeah, I spent a few $100 on Top Shots, and I literally just brought $100,000 down and put it into money, and now my fridge is full. Wow. Like, what?
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
It's true. It's true. There's people making money hand over fist in a lot of these things. But I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't people losing money either. I don't want to give the impression that like everyone's making stupid rich money, just throwing a piece of shit on the wall.
Well, what we're doing is we're making money obsolete. Which is making art the new currency.
Yeah.
Money doesn't matter when I'd much rather have a piece of art from you than any amount of shitcoin that you could offer me. And that's where a lot of the community is starting to get to that point where they would rather do a collab or work with you or share and barter goods and services for times and labor. And I just think we're making money irrelevant. So it doesn't matter how much it looks like people are making or losing. As long as we're both on each side of the winning and losing of those, you know, gains and losses on a common goal of making money obsolete.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's things that we work together as a community.
Like the people with the GameStop stocks, right? They bought that. They're holding it. They're not selling it for a loss because they do not care. They bought it to buy it to like just screw the man kind of thing.
You know? The diamond hands.
Yes.
Yeah. However,
I wish there was an AR filter for that one. Diamond hand, like a hand's like.
Oh man, if we were on Zoom,
that for me, please. I need a diamond hands filter.
However, there are
good stuff. Yeah, Jimmy, do the thing.
There are people who are you know holding this game stop waiting for it to go back up, and it might not end well for them, right? Like that, right? And so this is why and it looks like Crypto Stache might fall into this category as well, because you know he's said a couple of profound things since he's been on here. But Kenn, this is why we love having you, because like, you know, out of nowhere, just something as profound as like, you know, yeah, we're making tons of money and it's great, but we're making money obsolete. Like that's a really important statement, right? And like I think like tradables, collectibles as well, like when it comes to NFT space, like, you know, no longer do you have to like go over to mom and dad's house for like Christmas dinner, because let's face it, most of the people in this room are grown-ass men who have comic books in their parents' attics, and hear your mom harp, well, we're getting old, we want to move, and you should like maybe move your comic books. No, you don't have to do that. It's like, okay, I got my cell phone, I got my crypto wallet, I got all my collectibles, I can take them with me wherever I want to go. Corey, so I'm grateful for the.
Do you know how illegal it would be to go into China right now with like 3 Charizards in your back pocket or carry-on? Just for the record, like you can't even travel.
It really?
Yeah, dude, you know how much money they're worth? $100,000. There's $300,000 in a suitcase. You can't travel like that. They don't even let you travel with gold like that.
But are they checking for that? They're not going through them like, all right, guys, make sure there's no cash, there's no drugs.
If you don't claim it, if you don't claim
no Charizards, because otherwise, get those mofos.
If you don't claim it, it is a crime, bro. Just because they're not looking for it doesn't mean. I'm just saying, like, you know, the same
I gotta see that
Bitcoin gave to people to money gives to collectibles as well. You know, if you wanted to travel with
But there's so many things that they'd have to look for then that are like, oh, that rare coin you have in your suitcase.
I bet that's a common thing to find old coins that people are trying to use to smuggle value through airports.
There's no way they could really look for that. I mean,
somebody in the chat find it. There's like 3 TV shows about the airport security. There's like
no way they'd be able to look.
3 TV shows about TSA.
Maybe
that's pretty messed up.
It is. It's insane.
I wanted to get to one. The Our Planet Telegram apparently brought Big Ben here.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to. Sorry, I derailed.
No. We'll get to that. Giant Barb is asking why I'm on staking. So I am on staking specifically mining gear for the uplift that I staked on Our Planet. I bought thousands. I bought 10,000 Alien Worlds NFTs back in the day, and I'm specifically just going after. The mining gear because apparently everybody in the fucking cat wants to mine right now, and I'll make a few thousand wax on that. All of the weapons, everything else that I got, even though they nerfed the Alien Worlds NFTs, I'm still keeping them staked because it's still worth it to just do that. And eventually, when that game goes wild, I'll probably sell off some of that stuff too. I mean, I made my money back on these things like a few times already. So that's I'm just on staking that stuff. And it is an insignificant amount of my Our Planet mine, just so we're on the same page. So, Jimmy, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful to have the best kickoff roundtable,
right?
Roundtable and guests ever. That's awesome. I like it, and I think I want to put a pin in something, and we'll go back to it because I think we should get Corey. We should get Corey's gratitudes as well.
I did. I'm just grateful for you, motherfuckers. And sweet. I named you.
Yeah, and I think I think what's interesting for me was that conversation. Like, at what point do we travel through? Because at what point do we travel through customs and we have to click on the form? How many thousands of dollars are you carrying? More than $10,000 worth of like NFTs in your crypto wallet, right? Like, because here's the thing, right? Like, we always say that like crypto lives on the blockchain, right? And the blockchain has no physical entity. It's not like a bank where it resides in some country, right? It's not like an antique that resides in a shop or in your house that like and in a bad way too. Somebody busts into your house and they steal one of your antiques or a collector's item that you have registered with insurance, you can get a refund for that. If somebody busts in and steals your Alien Planet's RGen, mine, for example, like, you're not getting any money back, right? So I think this idea of like regulation behind like NFTs and crypto in general is really interesting, but more so for me, like NFTs, right? Because Kenn mentioned this, I think the last time he was on the show, like, we're at the cusp of like NFTs. Like, we're at like, the point where children are putting baseball cards on their bicycles to hear the cool little sounds, right? Like, we're nowhere close to where this is probably going. Like, where this is going is like fractionalization of real estate. Like, the potential possibilities are just amazing. So I wanted to get both Kenn and Crypto Stache's idea on this. Like where are we now and where are we headed, and how do you think like regulation is going to affect it? Because like it's going to affect crypto, but like, what's going to happen in the NFT space, right? Like, you are at NFT now, both of you, well, multiple NFTs actually, I
never get my fucking NFTs ever.
We're immortal.
Never get
that's what I was thinking, Ken. Like, you guys have legitimately been immortalized. That's kind of cool. Like, 10,000 years from now, they were like, this Kenn Bosak and this crypto scat, like, they were the motherfuckers. They're like, yep, that is what it is.
I owe all the credit to the stash. It just has a mind of its own, man.
Same to the beard.
Yeah. I mean, whatever works. I mean, and clearly they're working.
The idea that, NFTs will be stolen from you, or that they'll be regulated in a certain way. Like, the governments can't even fucking keep a handle on, regular taxes versus taxing other like crazy weird assets like NFTs, and let alone other things like crypto in general. So the idea that someone's gonna confiscate them somehow at an airport, like, you're not getting in my damn phone, dude. I don't care what the hell you say. And and even if you do, good luck with the cracking the pad. Like, you're never getting my private key, or you're never getting my password to the whatever it may be. Like, torture me all you want, but you're not getting my damn NFTs. So I mean, I think that's I don't really think that's a huge concern at this point. I don't know that it's going to be a big concern in the future. I mean, possibly if you're talking about something that, one item that's worth, like a Beeple, like a $69 million piece of art, maybe. But even at that point, it's like, what are you going to stop every person and scan their phone and like make sure they don't have that on there? It's like, it's impossible. Now I can see if you're looking for cash or something like that, that's like big and bulky and it's obvious, but there's just no good way that you'd be able to submit to like a screening to like know that these people own these assets or have these assets. And then same thing if someone just breaks into your house, like they have to be some pretty savvy ass criminals, right? Like they break in, they go straight to your computer and they're like trying to hack your password, and then like they brute force it maybe, and then they got it like your private keys are lying around somewhere, I guess. I don't know how, like there's no scenario I see where that really would be that big of a threat, And obviously, yeah, if you did lose something, I think the biggest threat is just like your personal threat, right? There's less threat, I think, from governments and from, people trying to steal things from you. And the biggest threat is yourself, that you don't, do your due diligence, and you don't, have your own keys in a safe location. You don't hold your own private keys for something, or you create stupid passwords like password 123, something like that. Like, I think that's the biggest threat to most people who own crypto or hold NFTs, is that just themselves, they're going to forget their own shit.
It
happens, right?
That all the fucking time. Like
the
likely, I'm going to get hacked. No, you're going to lose your private key.
You're just going to lose something. You're going to forget about it.
I keep telling you to fucking get LastPass and fucking save your shit. You're not going to do it. You're going to come to me like say, hey, do you know how to get into your account? No, you're fucked. Remember when I told you in fucking last year that you were fucked? You're fucked. Like every time. It drives me absolutely mental. I'm fine. Yeah. Everything's fine. I'm fine. We're fine.
But that's the thing. I mean, it's a legit concern, because that's why that's something I always like tell people in my community. Like, don't take shortcuts. Don't, turn 2FA off, or don't have 2FA in the first place. Yeah, you should have these things. If you don't, man, you are definitely messing up, because this is your financial responsibility to do this. It's your personal responsibility, and that's really where you're going to lose. It's not going to be the government taking it from you, legit, or somebody stealing it some sort of weird way. I mean, I think those are very limited in their attack vectors. It really, I think a lot of it is just coming down to your own due diligence. I mean, things like phishing scams are probably the most common way that someone can steal from you. Be diligent there. I always tell people, like, if you're getting emails that seem weird, don't ever click on the links. Like now, even when I get emails from like legit like places like, Treasure sent me an email, or Ledger sent me an email or something, I don't even click anything there. I just go directly to the site that I know is a legit site, and I look for the info there. And if it's not there, then I mean, it should be always there. And so there's just, those little things that I think people need to continue to keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad state of affairs. It happens in the real world too, right? Like people used to do it through telephone, preying on, people, scams and things like that. Mm-hmm. But it's like just remember, like, we've built up this really cool community, Corey and I, as well as you guys individually and together have built up this really nice community. Like if you go into your Telegram channels, everyone's pretty nice. Like everyone's pretty legit, right? But for the most part, I mean, people out there in the world aren't really that nice. So if someone wants to help you and make you $1 million, it's probably a scam.
Send me one BTC and I send you 2.5 back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Elon Musk is cool, but he's not that cool. I mean, he's probably cooler than that, right? But I'm just saying, and this is, I think the fear, right, is that, as Corey said, people forget their passwords and all this stuff, right? And so I think that's one area where you guys do a really good job, is like in education of people around these assets. So. I mean, so Ken, I know that like you travel to a lot of conferences and stuff like that. Like, so when you go overseas, do you claim your $1 bazillion worth of NFTs as like assets? And does it even matter, right? Because here's the thing, right? It depends on the country that you're living in. Like, I think in the US, every time you move something or every time you trade something, you have to pay tax on it. But like the country that I'm located in, I mean, unless you cash out, you don't have to pay tax on it, right? So like, essentially, if knock on wood, but if I passed on to a next life and somebody couldn't get into my wallet, then I will have all of these NFTs that will die on the blockchain. People could still view them, but nobody could access them, and no one would ever have to pay tax on them. How no, but like how does that transfer, right? Because like what you're walking into a conference and you show them the past, and then, somebody shows up and says, you have $1 million. It's like, yeah, dude, but I'm not going to sell it because this is the #1 means of my Kenn Bosak NFT. And this is me. Like, I'm iconicized, right? Is that a word? I don't know, but we're really good at it.
It's not, but let's roll with it.
Let's go with it.
Well, I saw something, Stache posted in our group that we talk about articles and stuff, and there was a piece of jewelry that was using a way to display NFT that you could own in the jewelry. And I think, if you wear a $100,000 necklace and you're getting on an international flight, you have to claim it. So yeah, I feel like that's possibly something, in different ways they would be able to enforce if that's how you're going to display your bags, publicly in forms of jewelry. But yeah, like you said, how do they know or whatever? And I mean, I don't know. I don't really acknowledge laws enough to pay attention if I'm breaking them or not. You know what I mean?
This is the most Kenn's thought about laws in.
I was in Las Vegas and I found out that if you cross the street without going to the corner, right? If you cut the street in half and cross, you can go to jail for that for 24 hours for crossing the street not at the light. But if you're in New York City, it's not even a crime to do it. It doesn't exist. So it's just I don't even what are laws? You know what I mean? I just follow my moral compass, and that's how I kind of live. But yeah, there's going to be, what I worry about are the people that are going to, have an NFT or something on them. They'll be traveling every once in a while to do a random stop. It's happened to me multiple times. I don't know why, but I mean, I was stopped on my way into Hong Kong, and they went through my laptop, my two cell phones. They went through my emails, texts, everything right in front of me. They didn't hide it. They were this is, tell us when to stop if you want, and we'll just send you back home. And I was just well, if I do that, if I say don't read anymore, you'll just tell me to go home. And they're like, yeah, pretty much.
How do they get in?
I let them in because if I didn't, I couldn't go. And I did my dummy phones. It was fine. You know what I mean? So it's and you know how laptops have multiple accounts that you can log into. So I had a different user. So I just logged into things, and they were just going through shit. And it wasn't whatever, but it was still very intrusive. So I do worry about the people that may get stopped and they'll end up going their phone.
I would have gone home.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We would know better, but somebody may not, right? They may just go ahead, whatever. I'm just going on vacation to Cancun. Who cares? And next thing you know, they're in trouble because they didn't claim their bags or something in their phone because they had a wallet. So it's just I worry more about the ignorance of the mainstream rather than the 1% of the people that may be aware of what to do. And that's why I say the laws are really if you don't know they exist until you break them, do they even exist?
Yeah, sadly, yes.
They do, but it's a thing. I can't.
You're falling the whole time. It's that sudden drop at the end, or the sudden end that's uncomfortable. But yeah, I mean, that's just be careful and don't go to China.
And I actually want to point this out because this is in the comments. It's dude, it's China. You have no choice. And I'm just gonna say nothing freaks me out more in the world than going through American customs. As a Canadian, American customs is the absolute
scary worst. Guys. I literally grew up in Kensington, Philadelphia. Yeah. Just Google Kensington, Philadelphia crime rate 1988 onward. I grew up there. I sweat and shake in their presence at the airport, and I could walk through the valley of the shadows of death with my head held high.
Yeah, and
it's a scary place, man.
I know that we give China a hard time for social rights and things like that. 100%. We should be vigilant about that. But I have family who lives in China. I've been there multiple times, and they are so kind when they search you. Like Kenn said, it's hey, yeah, we're just gonna look through your stuff and can you put your water on this conveyor belt because we just want to make sure that it's not a bomb. In America, they don't.
I bought it in the airport. I got it from the lady on the airplane. What has happened? Yeah.
But
that's why I'm just saying I'm worried more about the people that would be ignorant to the existence of the laws they would potentially even be breaking just by traveling with things of such value on them. Just if you didn't know better and you were given a gift of a nice necklace or bracelet and you didn't know what it was worth and you get stopped, they say, hey, you're not claiming this value, and they now you're on the radar for trying to smuggle a 6-figure bracelet through international customs. Like, it's just problems waiting to happen. Same thing with like Napster. You know, eventually it became something that's obsolete in law. Like, they don't even really acknowledge it or enforce it anymore if you're pirating music, because so many people do it. I think it will have a phase where some people will be the first to hit the the door, and then there'll be people that push through it to the point that it's no longer enforceable and it won't matter.
I think Corey and I will be okay, because like they'll just like, we can just play dumb. We can just be like, oh, we didn't know that these NFTs were worth this much money.
No, it's the McAfees and the CEOs like Arthur Haynes and other people that they're obviously going after.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you guys are pretty much screwed, because they're like, what? You didn't know that NFTs are worth money, and you have NFTs like in your image?
That's it. Yeah, that's a hard exhibit A to fight.
I'm telling you right now, like, did you guys hear about what Chintai is doing? And I'll be excited to see if it counts. But you basically just give them the public addresses for all your accounts that you want to actually pay taxes on, which should be all of them. And they just give you a fucking report. Like, here you go. Here's your thing, which is awesome, because like, I'm gonna sell probably 1,000 NFTs today, and I don't want to track that shit. But you just like make the software bing bang boom. Like,
watch, H&R Block is going to have an NFT option on their H&R Block tax returns at the end of the year, because they had a question like last year, right, Stache, about do you have Bitcoin in your holdings, H&R Block and everybody.
They've had those questions on tax returns for like the last 3 years, and like they've added to all the like popular ones. So yeah, H&R Block, TurboTax, they're all asking those questions. It's going to be years before they ask anything about NFTs, guys.
I think you're probably right.
There's no question on there that says, "Do you own any fine art? Did you purchase any fine art?" It's not a thing. And
but so the average person wasn't purchasing fine art in the rate that we're doing it now, though.
Right, and what I'm also saying though here is that the NFT world is there's so much variety there. There's no way that they can like throw blanket laws to cover all this shit. There's so much going on with staking, fractionalization, and having different utilities, and then burning and all. There's too much. There's just not a good way to like say, oh, we'll just write a software that does it and just calculates all the shit you do. Like, there's too much across multiple blockchains, different exchanges, different NFT formats. What is an NFT when you talk about
all
it?
All they want to know is what did you pay for? What did you sell it for? What was the difference? That's basic math, dude.
They don't care. It's just numbers.
Yeah, and they just want to know the numbers.
Exactly. If you stake something and like you stake something on our planet and you make ether, you pay tax on the ether. Like that's coming, right? It's like each one of those transactions is very simple when it comes to the tax code. So it's just doing them 100,000 times requires software, and they built the software.
Right. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's not about a simple numbers game. Yeah, if you're going and reporting those things, then sure. But there's no way to make a software that actually tracks all those things across all these different blockchains.
But yes, there is.
Without being able to do it.
Really easy. That's the problem, right? Like when the IRS figures it out, every single thing we've ever done on any blockchain ever will be taxable.
Yeah,
right? And that's
chain
not hard.
That's giving them more benefit of the doubt than I ever would give to the IRS at all.
Okay, so when I talk about chain,
you have a lot of faith in them apparently, because I would never. I mean, they can't even get regular taxes right.
Yeah, but that's I'm just saying, like,
wrong though. That's hilarious. They can't even get
when it comes down to software, it's not a hard thing to do. Now, you're right. Is the IRS going to catch up? I mean, come on, no. But they could, right? And I think underestimating them once they start realizing how much money they're leaving on the table will hurt a lot of people. And so I would rather people be prepared for that than unprepared.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it still would be like years and years away. I mean, we can't.
I think you're probably right.
We don't even have good actual clear laws on existing cryptos. I mean, we're still fighting over XRP, man, whether it's a security or not. That's like what, and it's been around for years, right? And then everything else too. So like we know Bitcoin and Ethereum are grandfathered in, that they have said that. We know that for sure. We don't know jack shit else about anything else, and so we're still just like, I mean, yeah, give me a 10-year, 15-year head run. I don't care, man. I'll make so much money in that time.
That's enough.
And you'll never know.
Even this year. Like,
even this year.
You're like, hey, you want to pay 50 grand on an accountant? Fuck, fine. Whatever.
Yeah, right. Corey, what did you tell me at the beginning of this whole thing? I apparently have like $500,000 worth of Trillium or Ether or something. What was it?
Yeah, dude, Trillium, like, and again, like once the arbitrage happens between the Wax blockchain and Binance, it's going to change. But right now, Trillium on Binance is $4.
Right. So the odds of them keeping up with, like Stache said, it's literally needle in a haystack of odds. It's like life on Mars odds, bro.
What? There's no life on Mars? Are you joking?
What? There's helicopters on Mars. Have you guys seen the drone on Mars?
I love it, dude. I'm a
So
huge
good.
space guy. I love all the stuff that I follow. And like that seeing that helicopter was super awesome, man.
Yeah.
Glad to see them like really finding cool ways to explore and to do things beyond what they've done before, because they've never done that ever. There's never been anything like that that's been in flight in a different atmosphere than our own. And so that's a huge step. People don't realize maybe how big that was when it comes to the perseverance and like the whole mission and shit. But
Yeah.
Yeah, good thing they didn't go with DJI on that. So, yeah, man, I appreciate being here, guys. I'm looking at the chat and it's going nuts. You have a whole bunch of people tuning in right now for the uplifters. This is amazing. I've been giving away some NFTs, and I just wanted to take a chance to say, if you're grabbing some, please don't take more than one.
YouTube doesn't like my links. I try to drop them in there too, but then
they have to make you a moderator, and then you can do links.
Actually, if you drop them to us, we can drop them in there for you. Just because we don't. Let's pretend that let's pretend that we don't want people to spam the chat, but I think it's that I at least don't know how to fix that.
No worries.
But yeah, if you drop them in the private chat next door. And actually, now's a good time to announce as well. Drop your Wax accounts into the comments, and we're gonna, after the show, shower you with some Cryptofinney coins. Again, these are promotional, coins that they've been giving out to the community, and
they're worth about $20. I've given one away already.
Yeah, $18 to $30. Like, these are free coins that are going for like $18 to $30 on certain exchanges, and this is nuts, right? So I think Kenn, you've kind of experienced this, right? Like, the monetization aspects of just simple collectibles when it comes to NFTs. We're not even close to like mainstream art yet. There's going to be points in time where mainstream artists start putting their stuff on the blockchain, and then probably the IRS is going to ask you and me what NFTs we have, and we're going to have to claim our blockchain heroes. But the rich guys, they're not going to have to claim their, fractionalized Banksies for whatever reason, But like, these are like things that are going to be like really interesting. So I just think that it's an interesting avenue that we're moving down, because if you don't sell it, right, it's not really seeing any profit, and this is a whole new world, right? And that's true with crypto, but I think it's even more true with NFTs, right? Because like collectibles, antiques, they don't do this type of thing. But I think there was a comment that I put up on the screen earlier that's like, I'm making minimum wage USD, but like I'm rolling in it when it comes to like uplift land or whatever, right? And I think this is actually starting to become a thing. Like, so I wanted to ask you guys, like, what is the potential, for personal value beyond like just collectibles, but what is the potential for personal value and liberation that NFT gives to, people, collectors, gamers, these types of things, in your opinion? Like, what's the most exciting, epic thing about this world that we're kind of moving towards?
I'll touch on that real quick. I think it's the rewardification that can be given with charitable events. Things that most people are doing on a daily basis by, paying for a super chat, or when you're at like IHOP or some restaurant that has, a cancer foundation fund running, they have different colored balloons that you can, put your name on and hang up on the wall. And depending on how much is the different color that they usually give you. And that gamification that already exists, I think, is now has an even playing field, even more even than what platforms like Kickstarter, GoFundMe, and Patreon have been providing. A lot of the rewards that are given for contributions on places like Patreon, it feels a lot like public broadcasting, right? If you donate $20, you get a mug. If you donate $100 on Patreon, you get a T-shirt. I think what's happening is even 5-year-olds now are able to create, doodles on their iPads or use filter apps with images that they have taken with their camera and, you know, start raising college money, you know, on different marketplaces. Same way after you have to, you know, be an adult and get verified and go through all these hoops to use the platforms that have kind of balanced out the battlefield of, like, you know, things like the Red Cross, you know, that stand in between us and what we are giving our money to and what for. We're breaking down that middleman. It's not just the banks, you know, that are being disrupted by this technology. It's a lot of damn near every middleman in any industry. And I think the most important part to it to me is, like, you know, that charitable middleman that's always been there to kind of take, you know, advantage of, you know, the human nature of giving back that's already there. Except probably less than 10% of what we give to the Red Cross makes it out. You know, there's people still today that haven't seen anything come in from Hurricane Katrina and all the money that the Red Cross has raised. So I just think, you know, seeing kids using this technology to just, like, put out some art or just, like, stick figure doodles or whatever, just to say, like, hey, I could use $5 to get a video game or whatever it is, like, you know, buy this and maybe they'll go out and have a good time with their friends at the arcade. But it's just a cool way to give back, and it's something more fun than a PayPal receipt for doing it. You know, it's something more special, I think. Sort of like when you get a dollar in an envelope or whatever in a birthday card from grandma. Still, it's not about the money. You know what I mean? It's probably $1 you'll put in your sock drawer and hold on to for life.
No, I'm sending that doll at the ice cream truck, sucker.
Yes, he probably. Yeah, I meant now.
Chocolate banana.
So yeah, that's what I think, though.
I feel like, yeah, the early days back when I was discussing with M Blue about how we were gonna, you know, involve charity, like long before, you know, this has been an ongoing thing. So like that's a really important point. But what I want to touch on actually, like, so people out there in the audience might not know this, but I'm actually an educator, and, like, I wrote a redesign for the American education system because I thought, like, this is ridiculous. The system that we live in is absolutely insane, right? Because we rely on governments to give us money, and then we teach kids to, you know, become, you know, servitude of the system that exists in power. And so my idea was, like, why, okay, I don't agree with taxes holistically, but, like, why do we not teach our kids how to do taxes in school? That kind of seems like it should be an important thing. If taxes are so important, right? Like, so my idea was, this is what we should be doing, right? Like instead of like you know, training cogs to fit into the wheels or shaping cogs to fit into the wheels, we should be training entrepreneurs. And America's actually pretty good at this in certain regions, certain places. So I was kind of like, what we need to do is we need to, you know, have kids grow food in the garden, and then you know, they can learn how to cook. They can make, like, lunch boxes, and then they can go out there on the street and they can sell it, and then they can have enough money to fund their, like, American football team or whatever, right? And basically that got squashed out and said, well, you can't do that because that's against child labor laws. And what's crazy about what Kenn just says is, like, you know, you have these 10-year-old or 11-year-old or 12-year-old gamers that are playing games that are, like, doing amazing things, and they're not necessarily allowed to, like, collect monetary profit because they're not 18 years old, right? And like, Corey knows this.
How does a 10-year-old get monetized on YouTube like Ninja? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And so we have all these, like, young kids who are really good with technology who, like, probably, like, let's just face it, like, 75-year-old men should not be in charge of countries when we're looking at, like, the new revolution of, like, technologically enhanced society and holding on to that old system, right? So I think, like, what Kenn brings up is a really good point. NFTs allow, like, the younger generation to actually participate in the economy in things that they're actually good at, you know? Sorry, that's my little rant on the topic, but somebody else, please.
No, just say, yeah, imagine if all the little kids out there could put that $1 for grandma into GameStop stocks, you know what I mean? And now they are doing it with, you know, whatever coin that their game uses. You know, maybe it's Alien Worlds and maybe it's Trillium, and that's what they can get now with their, you know, birthday money, and they can't really invest in Tesla or Facebook. Roblox, right?
Roblox, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've got in the uplift world, we've got 9-year-olds flying around with, like, space boots, and I don't know what the gaming version of I don't know what the gaming version of, like, taking the piss out of somebody else is, but it's just like we got 9-year-olds flying around in space suits, like, picking them up. Sorry?
It's called griefing.
Sure, like picking them up and like dropping them like thousands of feet, and they're falling to their deaths and losing.
Oh
all
yeah,
their
no,
just because
Yoshi.
they're excited, like-
Yeah, Yoshi's daughter came in and started teleporting people all over the map. She was teleporting people from the survival world to the creative world, but like you don't get changed into creative mode just for moving maps. Then she's like, a fucking half a kilometer in the air. So she's like teleporting people to their death all day. And they're losing everything, and we're like, "Who is this crazy person?" And we're like, "She's like 7. It's cool though. We're fine." we fixed
came
that.
in
We
like
fixed
Godzilla. I love it.
Yeah, she did. She was like a drunk 9-year-old super ninja sorceress, and we paid the price. We did fix that, by the way, but it was really funny for an afternoon.
That would be my daughter for sure. She's 10 and she loves to like do these fun, weird, trolly things with her friends when they're online. They're in Roblox or doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They're robbing banks and stuff. And I'm like, all right, man, you guys are having fun. And at least it's not like a real bank,
Well, I mean,
That
Shane
we know of.
relevance because, like, Kenn Bosak, he's over there in our world. He's got a pretty cool spot. So Stache, I think there's probably a spot for you somewhere, and you can hang out and play with your daughter in the uplift if you're interested.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, no, we've got a spot saved for you.
Sweet, I love it. Yeah. I try and game with her as much as possible. She played Roblox. She played Minecraft for quite some time, but dude, it's all about Roblox now, man. Like that is like her main thing. I cannot drag her away from like we just got a brand new Super Mario 3D game for Switch. She got it for Easter, played it for 30 minutes. And then she was like, all right, I'm going to go back and play Roblox with my friends back on the iPad. I'm like, come on, serious? Like, God. So the draw of that game, and it's strong. And like, I remember that being a kid too, having this draw to video games and like thinking about them in class. Like I couldn't concentrate on anything. I just want to get home and play Final Fantasy 3 and get to the end. That was a big thing. And so I think that when it comes to NFTs and gaming, kids get the idea and concept around NFTs and around crypto much quicker and easier than adults do, because they're already dealing with virtual currencies. It's a big thing to them. They value digital items in a very big way, much more than most adults, and gamers in general, but kids really do get it and they latch on. And so like everything I'm doing and all the things that I'm trying to push and stuff that I try and support, I support everyone that's doing things now, but really it's for that next generation, man. That's why I'm really here trying to do a lot of these things is to try and increase, adoption of these things. So people of the next generation are fluidly using these, just like we kind of, some of us grew up using the internet in the early days. And it's like, now it's become this thing. Like back then, there was very few people using the internet, in the early 90s, right? But I was using, I knew this was a thing. I tried to get, people on board with this stuff. And it's a hard battle at some point. But then there's that one thing that like makes it easy for everybody to get on board. And I think NFTs are really becoming that. They're becoming the AOL. They're becoming the AOL. They're becoming the iPhone of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology.
Yeah, and the best part is, like, back then people thought you were crazy. Now people are like, for sure. Like, you might not be crazy.
and that's how it always goes. Technology, there's always some like, what, a box with moving pictures on it? You're crazy. And then you go back a little bit further. What, a light without a flame? You're crazy. And then you keep going back a little bit. So it's just kind of how it goes. Like, that's
one of the most common technologies. In that moment is the wearables, I think, Stache. Like Google Glasses is kind of coming back with wearable technology, when for years it was kind of ridiculed. And the people that were pushing forward for wearable
stuff is still, it still needs to come.
Even VR though, right? VR too. It was for years, it was kind of ridiculed and mocked as like a gimmick thing. And now to see it come back.
Yeah, it's getting there. You're right. Like VR, AR, really cool things, and wearables, things like that. We're getting there, but we still don't have that killer device, right? It's just it's like pre-AOL. So like we need that killer device. It's like everybody has to have one. And a smartphone is one of those things. Before that, man, people just like text messages on their little flip phone. They got the flip phone. Like I used to sell cell phones when I was in early college days and like that, and going out of high school, and to see that transition of people having this very early addiction to texting and playing Snake. It was like the first one on like some of those old school phones, right? You're playing Snake on there, right? And then now you like fast forward even just 5, 6, 7 years later after that, less than a decade, and you have smartphones and people are connected to the internet, and that really what I think pushed a lot of that forward to that next leg that we needed to get to. So I don't think we're there yet with AR, VR. We're getting close, man. The technology is really cool. I love it. I mean, I have a VR headset and I like doing all those things, but I still don't think we have that killer app or that killer device yet that really locks everybody in. Like,
Not even close.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you look at what happened with, wasn't it like the Google glasses that were like totally flopped or something? Just because,
it was a huge flop. Yeah,
we weren't quite there yet, right? And like, Corey's brought this up multiple times, right? Like what the uplift could be, or what the uplift is trying to be, is a Ready Player One 1.0, and we are there. We are in a world where kids live in video games already, right? Like kids and Kenn Bosak, like not even kids, right? Like they're adults who live in video games. There are streamers. There are universities in the country that I'm in right now that do like these, gamer conferences where people go and they play games, and there's real world prizes, like hundreds of thousands of dollars of real world prizes where, 9-year-olds are going up against 40-year-olds. And this is a thing, and it's really cool. And so I think, it's interesting to me to always think about, what Corey says about like Ready Player One version 1.0, because I think like, where is that real world application? And NFTs, like with their burn mechanics, they might be like kind of an application in themselves, if that makes sense. Like, I really like how this goes, and I might even just be pushing this in the direction that I want it to go, because I really have to put something up on the screen. But let's just pretend that it makes sense. So the last thing I do want to talk about is like burn mechanics, because I think this is a really interesting, and apparently my daughter does too. I think this is a really interesting like thing with NFTs, right? Like, Kenn could send me, one of his NFTs, or Stache, you could, send me one of your NFTs, and if it's a low mint number, it might be worth something. Or maybe I just decide that like I want to burn it for whatever reason, which is crazy to me, because I don't know why you would burn an NFT unless you have more of them that like, increase your value. But there's like some really cool things around there. And I just want you guys to maybe like talk about that, because this is something new. I don't think this is like. I'm sorry.
She's mad. She's like, burn NFTs. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Dare you?
She's gonna wreck you later, man. Like for those comments. I mean, burning NFTs. There's lots of cool things you can do around them. I mean, you can give extra functionality for burning NFTs, and one of the things I think a lot of people don't realize too is that once you have a wallet that's like your wallet's public, right? Most of these blockchains, you have a public wallet, and if you're a content creator like myself or Kenn or whatever, our wallet names are out there, like we talk about all the time here. And so people will just randomly send me stuff, and sometimes it's not necessarily stuff I want to have, or want to keep. And so being able to burn things like that, I think makes a lot of sense. If people are airdropping you things, and this has come up before in crypto, where do airdrops come in when it comes to like, oh, well, I don't know, someone just found my wallet and they randomly airdropped me all these tokens, and now they're worth $10,000. Do I got to pay taxes on them? Well, I mean, technically, you're kind of supposed to, but
only if you sell it.
Right. Yeah, only if you sell it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's same thing with NFTs. You're sitting there with all these NFTs though, and maybe there are things you don't want. Maybe it was crypto that you didn't want. Like, I don't want this in my wallet, whatever it may be.
Yeah, somebody sends me Ripple, I'm sending that shit back. I don't give a fuck.
Right, there you go. So I think there's some reasons why you might want to burn something in that respect. But yeah, having burn mechanics, I think is a pretty cool thing that it's been around for a little while, but it's really started to pick up, and I think a lot of people have understood the power behind it. And so, yeah, just like here in what you guys are doing with Finny and the coins, being able to burn them to get it, and then you burn Finnies to get better Finnies. You're essentially using this as an upgrade system. We've seen this a lot in Wax actually, and not so much in any other chain. And there's reasons for that, obviously, because you got to pay. Like, I'm not going to pay $50 to burn an NFT to craft another NFT on Ethereum. That would be just stupid, right? But on Wax, it's very popular because it's so cheap, and you don't have to pay fees for these things. So it makes sense. So I think we'll see more of that with chains really pushing that as a feature, right? As a real feature of what's going on.
Indeed.
Nobody else had that. I was like, burn up.
Yep.
I could always jump in. I mean, like Stache said, though, unfortunately, not every NFT can be burned, right? Some smart contracts can be written to be untransferable, unburnable, and there's benefits to that. Things that could should be earned, and those things shouldn't be able to be transferred. Maybe like you can't really transfer valor, right? If you have like a purple heart for doing something in the military, it's not like you can just like pass that on to somebody and just like let them get into like Six Flags for a discount as a vet. So some things or like your driver's license, right? Birth certificate, social security number, things like this that we may see in the forms of non-transferable tokens. They may be things that could positively use the non-burnable, non-transferable functionality. But then there's always the malicious use cases. A popular account in the space was recently bombed by a bunch of NFTs that were pretty inappropriate from multiple accounts, and it was just a kind of a shit show in that sense. So there's a give and take to that, and the burn mechanics. People can burn things to be malicious. With the uplift with the first Burning Man, I would have got it. I could have easily have burned it and said, guess what? Nobody gets it. Nobody gets to have it. There it goes. It's gone. Same thing with like the blue electric Genesis or whatever from the Blockchain Heroes. If I get it, I'm just going to burn it because I feel like it's like the ring from Lord of the Rings and I'm Frodo. I have to throw it into the fire because it's just too sought after. Too many of my friends are going to fight over it.
But there's the power.
Some people may be like me and burn things for, maliciousness and good intent or whatever. But there's also things like if there's a 2 of 2 NFT out there and you pick up both of those NFTs that are mint 1 of 1 and 2 of 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. If you burn that second one, you now have a mint 1 of 1, right? So there are a lot of like gamification to it. Plus, on top of it, actually gamify it by like what we're seeing here with Finny's is by taking these coins and burning them to level them up. That game on its own. Imagine if you could take 3 of your Charmanders and make a Charmeleon, 3 Charmeleons, make a Charizard, and sign me up. So like seeing that be done with these collectibles, I think one of the most oversought or overlooked features is the packs. When packs start to get opened, they're burned, and the scarcity, it's just exponential in speed. So it takes the market quite a bit of time to figure things out. But you see things like even Godzilla recently going from 5,000 packs to under around 2,000 or something in scarcity. So as that moves forward, we'll probably see that hit 500. There's the Bitcoin Origins, right? Some of their blocks only have one thing inside of them, but due to scarcity, I think there's only like 10 or something unopened of the original 1 megabytes or something. And now they're worth thousands of dollars. So I just think there's a lot of good and bad. So keep your eyes out for that, but also try to find the projects that are bringing utility to that. If they are like Street Fighters have a bunch of NFTs out there, they gamified the scarcity by monetizing the burn by rewarding it.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, like we don't have time to cover all this. Like we have 2, of the most well-versed people in the crypto and wax space on the channel right here that basically go on and talk about this kind of stuff daily, right? Like if you're not following Kenn or you're not following Crypto Stache, please, the links are below in the YouTube. Go and follow them on their YouTube channels and to hop into their Twitters and stuff like that, because you guys do spend some time talking about these kinds of things, right? But like it's just really interesting where we are now, I think, and where we're headed, right? And like I remember being on that live stream or watching that live stream, that you referenced with Burning Man, and just wanting to actually burn the Burning Man, and just like throw it into the fire, as you said. And I remember talking to Corey about this after, and it's just like only Kenn would think about that, and it's I kind of actually brilliant.
I did motivate somebody to actually outbid me and buy it, and it's kind of the positive thought of it, right? When I was talking about it, was like, I bet I could encourage somebody to outbid me if I told them I was just going to be a dick about it, and it worked.
And scene.
But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to bring up about like NFTs, importance, relevance, something that you guys are looking forward to?
Stache always has something new coming up with NFTs. I'll let him show first, but I definitely have his shill.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, I actually retweeted a very popular artist in the scene, Rare Pepe designer. He does some amazing work. I don't know if you guys have seen his work, but he's worked on multiple projects in the scene. He's actually doing the art for my upcoming new project on Wax. It's a collectible card game, and it is going to be the very first collectible card NFT game that also interacts live with a live stream. So I do a show every Thursday called the Secret Agent Stache Show. It's all about blockchain gaming, and you'll be able to use these cards to interact with the show live. So you're essentially burning the card to interact with the show, and then it shows on screen, and I do what the card does or whatever it may be or how it interacts. So the show is all about like me as a secret agent, and I play different blockchain games every week, and I go into a disguise. So if you guys have not seen the show, it's a lot of fun. We do, prizes, NFTs, but we also talk about the tenets of NFTs and blockchain gaming, why they're important, how you do play to earn, how all the ecosystem benefits greater from blockchain gaming. And so this is really kind of kicking in overdrive for interaction with the kind of game show that I do. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited about that art that's being worked on. We're probably a couple of weeks out from it dropping, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And like I said, something that no one's ever done. So no one's ever done an NFT interactive live stream game like this. There's other people that do passive games and other things, but this is going to be one that you can actually do and play with me live every week.
You know what, bro? This
That's
is some
really
real
cool.
Life Ready Player One meets Truman Show level shit.
Right?
Hey, Corey, you know who we should have on really soon episode of NFT Game Day?
Who's that?
That guy.
Oh yeah, well obviously, yeah. Let's do it up.
All right, Ken, what do you? That sounds really cool though, Stache. I think I really like that idea. And we might actually have to do like a dedicated crypto writer live stream, because I do know that there's a couple other people that we know in the space that have used NFTs. Ken is one of them, but others that have used it to interact with their audience. So I think that would be an interesting panel discussion in of itself. But Ken, what do you got for us? You got something that you wanna throw behind the
Yeah, I just posted a link in the chat to NFTs that are only available from miners. People who are mining on my Alien Worlds plot.
That's awesome.
Cavian 3413. So Cavian 3413. If you're mining there, you'll be rewarded not just with Trillium or Alien World NFTs like shovels or whatever, but you'll also be rewarded with NFTs from my collection that are only obtainable from mining. And then on the secondary market, obviously, you can pick one up from a miner, but it does take many hours to actually earn one of these. And I've thought about, I could sell these for $1 million, or I could let people earn it with their time. And even if they spent 10 minutes clicking on that mine button to get one of these, or 2 hours, or whatever the case may be for some bros out there, I'm sorry. They hold them more. They give it more value from earning it rather than what they spent it, right? If you bought something for $5 and I offered you, $10 for it for you to double your money, what would that mean if you spent an hour trying to earn it and I offered you $10 for it, right? It's a different conversation. So I wanted to be able to give my community a way to kind of, earn things, and also just be able to be the only outlet for anybody else that was too lazy to go out and earn it to get it in that way and, collect from them. So it was just a cool win-win for my community here, and a shout out to Alien Worlds for letting me in on that little club they got going. And now you can stake it on our planet too. So not only can you mine it on Alien Worlds, you can take it and then stake it on our planet. So you're going to get Trillium, you're going to get A Ether, and you didn't even have to buy any of my shit to begin with.
Yeah,
Hashtag play to earn, baby.
that's tight.
Thank you.
Yep. I like it a
I'm
lot.
proud. I'm proud of it.
You should be.
It's
That's
a dream
a
come
really
true,
awesome
to be
setup, man.
honest. It's a definite dream come true.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Oh man. All right.
So there's only one available in the market, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Who's selling?
Oh, never mind.
Diamond hands.
I'm like, who is selling?
And scene.
Yeah, they're all gone. So yeah, there's only one every 2 hours. It'll take all month for all 420 of them to be mined. So if you want to mine throughout the month on our planet or on Alien Worlds, you might as well on Cavian 3413, and then stake them on our planet, or you can sell them on the secondary market for somebody else to stake it, on our planet.
Yeah, your our planet stuff has always been good. I remember like when that stuff first came live, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and see if he's selling any for dust, because I have some dust, and I might have bought them all.
You did. I saw that.
I'm sorry. I mean, I
have all your dust now, though.
I still have them all, and I'm all right with it.
Yeah, but now you need to sell some stuff for dust so I can spend all the dust you gave me back on some.
That's true. I do need to sell some stuff for dust.
Some uplist tools, dust shovels or something. Let's go.
Right? Game on. Game on. Keep the economy rocking and rolling.
Exactly. So, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And again, whoever bought those NFTs, you weren't really buying them for me. The only way you could have bought it was from somebody who was actually sitting there on Alien Worlds mining for it. So now you just gave somebody like income for a job. Like their job is now officially being a miner.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, to be honest. Like, and the more we can empower people, like Corey brought this up about, I think his family members and introducing them to Alien Worlds, and they there's how many thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people over the world over are like playing video games, like using their time, on their phones and not getting anything in return. And right now with NFTs, we have this possibility to be able to like give people real world value. And in some countries, that real world value, translates to like a meal, or three.
It could be more than that, man. There's people who are like in some countries that are literally legit making more per month playing games like Axie Infinity than they can make in a real like legit job there that most people are working. So yeah, the whole play to earn, mantra. That's what I'm saying. That's what I really focus on for my Thursday streams, because it's huge, man. People don't realize like gaming is bigger than every other sport combined at this point. It's so under the radar for people who don't get it. But you talk about like a game tournament drawing 200,000 people to a stadium. It's happening. And so I think we've seen this huge shift of people going from being huge fans of sports to the rise of esports and gaming as a massive multi-billion-dollar industry, and like heading towards being one of the biggest industries in the entire world. So being able to extract value, actual value from the time you're putting into it. Me being a gamer who's sunk thousands of hours into games, thousands, man, and got nothing back, and only ever put money in. I mean, it's a great thing. And we see the frustration with a lot of gamers out there. They know that they're getting screwed. And so this is going to be a major paradigm shift when it comes to not just gaming, but monetizing your time.
And weren't they thinking about putting like esports into the Olympics or something strange like that? And like seriously, like what would you rather have? Would you rather have like a gold NFT medal that you can like sell on the open market, or a real gold medal that you got to go and find somebody to melt it down and get the money? I'm just saying. I mean, applications, but
hopefully you don't win a medal in the Olympics. Like the first thing you think, like, all right, man, I'm gonna go sell this bitch right now in the open market. But I guess maybe people do. I don't know. They get hard up after they've spent their athletic career and they're done. Someone's probably
I mean, like you said, we could go on and on again, but please go like and subscribe, Kenn and Stache, because they got some really cool things going on their channels with NFTs and monetization, and they're going to teach you a lot more if you go over there, because I know that they've taught us a lot. As for the Finnies, the burn mechanics, you can check that out on the the Finny site. And we're going to drop some of those coins. And as Stache and Kenn alluded to, you can burn these, and like they, increase the value of the Finny ecosystem as a whole. So yeah, I mean, with that, Corey, do you have anything that you want to wrap up with?
No, I just honestly, man, I'm grateful that you guys decided to come spend some time with us. Stache, it's nice finally get to do a show with you.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome seeing you and your Munchkin building in the uplift. I'm
going to make her do all the work. That's real child slave labor.
There's the pattern. Yeah, they're not having any fun doing it at all. Like they hate it. It's terrible. No, it's good. Thank you guys, man. And Ken, I love your face, and I'm like seriously gonna buy tickets to that freaking convention so we can sit down and hang out in a room.
Oh, you guys gonna be at Bitcoin 2021, or are you talking about the other one in Miami?
The one coming up soon in Miami.
Oh, 420 Miami.
I can't be there. I know, I'm sad. I wanted to go.
Shit. Well, shit.
I'll be there in June.
All right, I'll do it again in June. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Maybe I got to go somewhere in June. I mean, now we had such a good time, and now I'm just sad because I kind of want to hang out with everyone in a real.
Bitcoin 2021 crazy.
It's gonna be nuts.
So
all the friends will be there.
Do
later,
it.
Guys. Come back some other time. Always a pleasure and much gratitude to you all.
I love it. Thanks, guys.